This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Good afternoon. It's Thursday, February 8th, 2024. Peace is a part of the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. On the news this afternoon, Rivers Information Commissioner urged federal government to increase stipend for corps members. Group faults disrespectful comment against FCT Minister Wike. Oyibo residents call for review of security checkpoints in their area. Senator Shaw's 2024 census will be held as scheduled. And on the foreign scene, Madagascar to surgically castrate pedophiles under new law. I am Ifechu Kumoyin with the news. River State Commissioner for Information and Communication, Joe Johnson, has called on the federal government to increase the monthly allowances of corps members. The commissioner made the call at a meeting with the River State Coordinator of the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, George Mfongang. He also announced the Governor, Siminalayi Fubara, has approved the resumption of a monthly stipend of 15,000 naira for corps members working in government parastatals and 10,000 naira for those in private organizations in the state. Mr. Johnson said the governor is focused on the welfare and success of corps members serving in the state. He also applauded the NYSC for its positive impact on the state's image and the local government chairman for providing accommodation and welfare support to corps members. Mr. Johnson, however, urged the NYSC management to empower corps members with relevant skills. Moving on, a group concerned Ebeye Indigenes of Conscience says the recent hate speeches against former governor and FCT Minister Wike are sponsored, ill-conceived, and should be disregarded. This is contained in a statement signed by a former chairman of Ahoda East Local Government Area, Charles Luke, a former secretary of Ahoda West Local Government Area, Jimo Ewo, Salvation Okoroba, Maxine Ebeye, and 7 others. The statement said the Wike administration favored Ebeye people in infrastructural development, human capital development, political appointment, and evaluate an elevation of traditional stools. The group further claimed that the former governor awarded contracts to Ebeye people. It said he ensured that their son became the deputy speaker of the 9th State Assembly and placed him to directly supervise the contract for the construction of Ozochi Road, valued at over 10 billion naira. The group called on any Ebeye man who has any issues with the law to answer without turning it into politics, clarifying that Ebeye people are not at war with any other ethnic group in the state. Meanwhile, a professor of development studies, Kiboye Aaron, has warned that projecting River State in a bad image will drive investors away and hinder development. He urged politicians to move past the politics of bitterness and work for the overall interest of the state. Professor Aaron, a lecturer at the University of Port Harcourt, was reacting to Governor Fubara's warning against demarketing the state.
Truth be told, the marketing in the state does not help in the development of the state. If people want to invest and they realize that the kind of news that comes out of the place is not in the best interest of investment, they will naturally stay away from the place. Governance begins when politics ends. What is going on in Rivers State at the moment is not the best we should experience. Therefore, let me also call on political gladiators to allow the governor, who it appears has started well, to govern for the good of Rivers State.
Away from that, some residents of Oyibo local government area of Rivers State are calling for a review of the security checkpoints at Oyibo Junction. Recall that former Governor Wike ordered strict security measures in the area during and after NSAS protests in 2020. Our correspondent reports that a section of the Oyibo Express Lane is still blocked by security checkpoints. Almost 4 years after the NSAS riot, most vehicles stop halfway or follow alternative routes. Residents also spoke of constant harassment due to the continued military presence.
For this Obibo, imagine person go just come back from where in the go. He go the guy thing for head because of security. He go climb bike, then go command you to come down.
Since after NSAS, for people to enter inside the Obibo, so then go enter another road before then go enter inside the Obibo. All those things make people to spend more money. Let them leave this very place so that the road go dey empty.
These army people where they keep here, they worry everybody.
It's not that people to run as usual. If you coming from Port Harcourt, me I go take people. But you see the major road we go take and the closer.
May the present government look into it. With the suffer well, it's as if everybody around this vicinity are all criminal.
In other news, some residents of Port Harcourt have expressed worry over the continued limit placed on over-the-counter cash withdrawals and at the automated teller machine ATMs. The residents called on the Central Bank of Nigeria to review the limits for easier access to funds.
I went to withdraw 40,000 naira. They said what they can give to me is 20,000 naira.
They should remove these restrictions on cash because it's no longer getting funny. How would you go to the bank to withdraw your own money and they are giving you a fixed amount for you to remove? They should give us access to our money.
I did withdrawals about 50,000, 50,000 during
Come to bank and want to withdraw some plenty money and they're taking 5K is the maximum. So I don't know the reason behind why they're doing what they're doing.
There's limit on counter.
ATM can give you up to 200,000. Inside bank, they cannot give you 50,000.
There's money in circulation and so many banks' ATMs are paying.
Our correspondent who visited some banks around the Rumokoro, Choba and Aba Road access observed that some banks are only offering withdrawals ranging from 10,000 naira to 50,000 naira over the counter and 5,000 naira to 10,000 naira at ATMs. Still to come, Senate assured 2024 census will be held as scheduled.
Nigeria Info.
You're welcome back, and now the rest of the news. The Senate has assured Nigerians that the population and housing census slated for November 2024 will be held as scheduled. The chairman of the Senate Committee on National Identity and Population, Senator Abdul Nigi, said this during the screening of 17 out of the 19 commissioner nominees for the National Population Commission, NPC, on Wednesday in Abuja. The last census was conducted in 2006 by the National Population Commission, which gave a population figure of 140 million. Away from that, the House of Representatives has resolved to investigate the ban on alcoholic beverages in sachets and small bottles. It followed a motion by lawmaker Pascal Abodike on Wednesday during plenary. Recall that the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, placed the ban this week, sparking a protest by some stakeholders on Wednesday. And now to business. Some bread sellers in Port Harcourt say they are unable to buy bread following a partial scarcity and increased cost of bread. They tell correspondent Constance Mega that bakeries have increased their bread price since Monday.
Now 6 days before yesterday, like since on Monday, they don't do bread. For them to come back, they increase it. I put this one now is 300.
I was buying 200, I said 250. Now maybe I will sell 270. Let me just add that 20 and they put on top. Instead of people are selling 300, I don't know. Let me just put it 270. See how they will buy it.
You get another place where you never add price.
Yesterday, the chairman of Master Bakers in River State, Chidi Olu, said the price of bread will increase again today by 15% following the hike in the price of materials for bread production. He also said without a price review, Rivers people may not see bread to eat as bakers may go out of business.
The whole idea is to see if we can keep few bakeries producing. If we don't do what we want to do now, you will not see bread at all. next week. The cost of flour, sugar, but everything added over 30% in the last 7 days. And most of the raw materials used in producing are imported. Majority of the bakeries are all workers already at share scarcity. Cost of production is far more than sale price now.
Dr. Olu also advised bread consumers to buy from bakeries to save cost. In our entertainment, American rapper Kanye West took to Instagram to ask people to help him with venues to hold his shows. He said that although his upcoming listening party show at United Center in Chicago sold out in 7 minutes, it was the only venue that would have him. The listening party is to mark his return to music. And now to sport. President Bola Tinubu has sympathized with the family of former executive director of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, Cairo Ojougbo, who died today. Mr. Ojougbo reportedly died after slumping in his Abuja office while watching the Africa Cup of Nations semi-final match between Nigeria and South Africa. Meanwhile, the federal government says it will reward the Super Eagles for their dedication and success in reaching the final of the Africa Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire.
And now, we bring you news from around the world.
Madagascar's parliament has approved a new law which will see pedophiles surgically castrated for their crimes. The law comes just days after Kazakhstan announced a similar law. The law in Madagascar states that those found guilty of raping a child under 10 years old will be surgically castrated and sentenced to life imprisonment. If the victim is between 10 and 13 years old, they will be chemically castrated and face 15 to 20 years of forced labor. But if the rapist is also minor, they will escape castration. That's a wrap on the news this afternoon. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. Rivers Information Commissioner has asked the federal government to increase stipends for corps members. A group is faulting the recent disrespectful comment against FCT Minister Nyesom Wike. The Senate has assured that the 2024 census will be held as scheduled. In other foreign scene, Madagascar Parliament has approved a new law for surgical castration of pedophiles. That's the news is edited by Constance Mega. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 08087217215. I am Ifechuku Mwanyali. Many thanks for listening.